Hello, hello. I'm on a little early, you guys. Just want to give you some time to get on and, get ready. Okay. All right. This is going to be an awesome live today. So, welcome to Behind Burnout. Yay. Welcome to Behind Burnout. Okay. All right. So, all right. I have so much I want to share with you today. So, yeah, get ready. Get ready for an amazing, amazing live today. Make sure you guys go and get you some paper and pencil and yeah, get everything that you need. Okay. All right. Because today we're going to be talking about what to do when shame, okay. All right. Activate, what to do when shame is triggered. Okay. All right. What to do when shame is triggered without self abandoning yourself. Okay. Because a lot of us, we feel that shame, it comes up, and we don't really know what to do with it. We don't really know how to react to shame, okay? And how to process it and work through it, okay? And so today, I really want to make sure that I help you with that today, okay? So this is going to be a power packed live event. So if you've already gotten your pen and paper, just say I'm live and ready, okay? You guys, so that's what I want you to say, live and ready, all right? Get yourself some water like me. You're gonna need it. Get yourself some water. Get yourself everything you need. And yeah, turn up the volume. Okay? Turn up the volume because I really want to make sure you can hear me and yeah, that you're ready for the live today. Okay? All right. All right. The core teaching today is going to be on shame. Okay? And a lot of times shame activates before our thoughts. Okay? Before our thoughts. Okay? Shame is not a cognitive failure, you guys, all right? A lot of people look at shame as though it's a cognitive failure, but it's not. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. I believe we still have a few minutes before I get into this. And yeah, hopefully, you receive your invite and you're here. Let me know live and ready. If you're live and ready, let me know, okay? All right. So I'm excited. All right. All right, you guys. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. All right, this is going to be going on. I don't know if you guys, maybe we can do a little quick recap from last week. If you were on last week with me, or if you didn't get a chance to see the live event from last week, please go right ahead. Check it out. You guys, check out the live from last week. Let me see. Okay. All right. That was amazing too, you guys. It was truly amazing. All right. The live event from last week was a stellar event, you guys. Okay. And we're not going to stop that. We're going to keep the momentum going. Okay. Behind burnout is something that you definitely need to mark your calendar for every week on Wednesday at 12 noon. You definitely need to mark your calendars if you haven't already. Okay. All right. I have so much to share with you, and I don't want you to miss anything. So make sure you do that. And if you are interested in, getting a free assessment, we also are doing that. Okay. We're also doing a free assessment. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Let me know, you guys. Okay. I believe last week, what did we do? Let's see. Last week, what was our title? Why insight isn't enough? Because a lot of people have had attachment trauma and they have a lot of insight about attachment trauma. But I just wanted to talk to you about why that's not enough. Attachment trauma. You need to really heal attachment trauma. It's really, you really need to get into the somatic work. And that's what we do here at Trauma Talks. I mean, that's what we do here at, excuse me, that's what we do here at Wings of the Future. Okay. And we also talk about it on Trauma Talks, which is another show that we do as well. So, but just to stick to Behind the Burnout show, why insight isn't enough to heal attachment trauma. That's what we talked about last week. Okay, so it was about 30 minutes. So if you have time, check it out, you guys. Check it out. All right. We don't want to leave you behind. But today we're going to move forward because hey, we're in there now. Okay. We're in behind burnout. Okay. For this meeting, which is week 2. Okay. And we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going, you guys. Okay. Because our core teaching today, just so in case you didn't know and you just jumping on, okay, we want to give people time to get on. So that's why we're taking a little time and we're starting a little early just to kind of alert people that we're on and we're ready. Okay. So the core teaching today, or the main subject that we're going to be talking about today, is what to do when shame is triggered. what to do when shame is triggered. Okay. All right. Because a lot of people don't know how to handle that. Okay. And yeah, it causes a lot of problems. Okay. All right. And so the core teaching is what shame activates before thought. Yeah. What does it activate before the thought, before the shameful thought? Okay. Shame is not a cognitive failure, you guys. It's not a cognitive failure. It's a relational alarm system. It's the body saying you're losing connection. Isn't that something? You're losing connection. Often before the mind narrates what's actually happening. Yeah. The body is saying you're losing connection. And we don't need to lose connection. Okay. Particularly if you have had attachment trauma. Okay. That could be a very bad moment for you to lose connection. So this is why we see these patterns emerge, you guys. Okay. All right. Over explaining. That's one of the patterns of people when they're experiencing that shame in their body. Sometimes we don't realize that that's what we're experiencing, shame in our bodies. We're trying to narrate your worth into space. Right. You're over explaining. You're trying to narrate your worth. Isn't that deep? People pleasing. That's another signal that these are some of the patterns, you guys. Okay. So that's another signal that you might be experiencing some shame. People pleasing, managing others to keep closeness. All right. And a lot of people are over managing people, pleasing, over managing, fixing, controlling. It's all that same energy. Okay. That's all that same type of relational connections. The way that their connection is by people pleasing. They don't really have true connection. They just have doing what everybody else around them needs them to do. Okay, isn't that interesting? Okay, all right. Also, freezing, which is the dorsal vagal shutdown. Okay, that's the dorsal vagal shutdown. Trying not to make things worse. Okay, all right. So you freeze. All right, you don't even know what to say. Okay, and shame can be a trigger to get you into this space. So a lot of the times we don't know how we got into the people pleasing, but this is just to explain it for you. This is kind of how it happened. Okay. All right. Dorsal vagal shutdown, trying not to make things worse. Okay. All right. Collapsing, surrendering agency to preserve attachment, surrendering your power over to other people. Isn't that something? Collapsing. That's another signal. Okay. So let's go over the signals again. Over explaining, managing, which is managing others, or excuse me, narrating your worth. Okay. Narrating your worth. So when you over explain, you're narrating your worth. Take that in. Take that in. Okay. Over explaining is narrating your worth. People pleasing, managing others, fixing, controlling. People pleasing. People pleasing is controlling, in case you didn't know. Okay. But remember, our top topic is shame. So that's kind of the thing that got you into that. It's kind of the feeling or the unconscious emotion you probably were experiencing that brought you into this space. Okay? So I need to hurry up and tell them all this stuff so that they can know that I'm worthy. Okay? Take that in, okay? Freezing or dorsal vagal shutdown. Dorsal vagal shutdown. Trying not to make things worse. Okay? All right, freezing. You're just, you don't even know what to say. All right, collapsing, surrendering agency to preserve attachment. You're giving away your power. You're giving away your power. Don't want to do that. I know you don't want to do that. I know you don't intend to do that. But that's what ends up happening when we start to, we don't know what to do with which I'm going to show you how to do, with our shame. We don't know how to deal with our shame. This is how we behave. This is how we react. Not because we're bad or anything, but because this is what shame has done to us. Okay. All right. So performing worth, proving I'm lovable. So when you start to overperform, guess what? That's behind the burnout. That's what's burning you out. Overperforming. Okay. Perfectionism. All of that. Okay. I'm lovable. See, I'm lovable. See, that's what overperforming is. Okay. All right. It's not a character flaw, you guys. All of this stuff that I'm telling you, it's not a character flaw. It's a brilliant survival mechanism within you as a human. It's a brilliant way to survive. Okay. These behaviors are attachment. Okay. Repair strategies. Okay. You're trying to repair the attachment. You're trying to repair the connection in the relationship that you feel you're losing. So as soon as you get that feeling like I'm losing connection. Oh no, it's happening again. Unconsciously, this is how you kind of start to manifest. Does that make sense? All right. Let me know you guys are out there. Let me know live, okay? Live, all right? Burn out to balance, okay? We'll get into that later. But behind burnout, yes. All right? These are not character flaws, though, you guys. These are not. They're brilliant, brilliant survival strategies, okay? These behaviors are attachment repair strategies, all right? They're formed when connection was conditional. And when you have attachment relationship where the connection that you had with the person was a conditional attachment, yes, okay? Fragile or inconsistent attachment where you just didn't know if you what you were going to get that day from that person. This is when this type of encoding sort of happens, okay? All right? So, I hope that explains. All right? So, you're going to go further. This is amazing. If you guys are really loving this, let me know. Let me know. Say live in the comments. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's get this done today. We got to get this done. Okay. All right. So we're going to break it down a little further. Okay. All right. So this is kind of what happens, you guys. The trigger, well, essentially you're being triggered. Okay. So something happens. You feel the disconnection happening with the person. So immediately that triggers the amygdala. So if you want to know what's triggered, fight, flight, freeze mode is triggered. That's what's being triggered. You're going into you're going into survival brain. You're headed towards survival brain as soon as the trigger happens. It could be some sort of feeling of disconnecting in the relationship. Or the other person might be shut down. Oh, they're disconnected again, disconnecting. Oh, they don't like me. So that's when you go into the survival brain. See, so that's when all the other stuff I just mentioned happen. Again, I can go over it again just to make it really, really simple and plain. Okay. So you might see yourself going into over explaining, like I said, people pleasing, freezing, collapsing, or overperforming or perfectionism. Okay. All right. So you might see yourself going into some of those behaviors after you are triggered. And it's usually triggers shame. That's what's triggered. So the shame is being triggered. All right. Immediately you go into the amygdala, which is the fear center part of the brain, in case you don't know that. Okay. All right. So the nervous system is activated. And guess what happens when the nervous system is activated in this way? The prefrontal cortex, the executive brain, immediately shuts down, you guys. It immediately shuts down. That's what happens. Okay. All right. So let's go a little further into the neuroscience. I love helping you guys with this. This is, I just love spending time with you guys every week on Wednesday. This is one of my favorite things that I do. I so look forward to it. And yeah, this is amazing. This is what we need to do to make it actually get fixed permanently. Not the temporary burnout fixes. If you don't find out what the root causes of your problem are, you're likely gonna end up back where you were before. I know there's a lot of burnout programs out there, but until you actually not just know about the neuroscience, but actually know how to fix what's happening, you might find yourself back where you are. Not to say anything bad about anybody else out there, but just to say that knowing is half the battle. It is part of the battle. You do need to know. And we talked about that last week when we talked about the insight and how the insight wasn't enough. This is actual we do activation here, you guys. So make it to this behind burnout show. We do activation here. We don't just sit here and give you a lot of insight. I mean, insight again is important and it's very valuable. However, we give you the whole thing. We give you the whole thing. We're not holding back here. Okay? We're not what do they call that? We're not guarding all the good information from you. It's another word for it. I can't think of it right now, but okay? So let's talk about this neuroscience in a simple way that you can really, really understand what's happening here. The amygdala scans for social threat. A social threat could be disconnection, could be someone shutting down, could be someone not talking. And it might signal to the brain disconnecting. The person is not connecting with me. Disconnection, disconnection. Okay? So it scans for that. And it encodes that as rejection, shame, or abandonment. It might encode some other things, but those are the three primary ones right there. And we want to stick to that for now. Okay, so that's what's happening. Okay, so it sees that as a threat. And so that's when the person goes into these other behaviors that I talked about. Okay, like the people pleasing and all that stuff. Okay, write this stuff down. Okay, and once you get the understanding, then we're gonna actually do the activation. Okay, all right. So we're not gonna leave you with this problem. We're gonna help you fix it. Okay, and that's what we do every week on Behind the Burnout. We help you fix the problem. We tell you about the problem. We explain the problem to you. Okay. Then we go in and we also explain the science behind it, which is the neuroscience and the faith part. Okay. And then we after we do all of that, then we go in, we make sure that you actually have tools to heal this, you guys. Okay. All right. So let's do this really simple. Okay. So the amygdala, it scans for social threat. A social threat could be rejection, shame, someone shaming you. That could be a trigger. Rejection, someone abandoning you. Okay, you got it? So when connection feels at risk, okay, when there's a threat to connection, the body hijacks the logic. This one here, the executive brain, to prioritize survival in that moment. Okay, all right. So that trigger pushes you into survival, into the fight, flight, freeze mode. Okay, all right. So the prefrontal cortex, you guys, where the reasoning and the self reflection lives, happens to go offline. It goes offline. Okay, no more self-reflection. So you're not thinking at this point. You're in the amygdala. I kind of explain it to people like this. It's as though you're in a room. It's like a padded room. There's no one there. Okay, it's just you, and you're safe. But that's it. You're not able to really reason and think through what's really happening here and figure your way out of that situation at that moment. At that moment, okay, we are going to get into how to get back online. But at that moment, when you go into the amygdala, you leave the prefrontal cortex. You leave the part of your brain where you reason and where you figure things out at. Okay? So let's give an example. Someone pulls away or criticizes you. They might criticize you or they might correct you. It could get the trigger. You could have encoded that correction as criticism. It could happen. Okay? All right. So your nervous system doesn't ask, what did I do? No, because you're not in the part of the brain to reason through this. You go straight to survive this, not reason through it. You get it? Okay. So it says, I'm losing safety, you guys. That's what the brain starts to say. I'm losing safety. I'm not safe with this person. I'm in danger. Okay. So in early environments, early childhood, okay, where connection was predictable, maybe in school, maybe at home, maybe with mom and dad, maybe with siblings. It just depends. Maybe with a daycare provider. It depends. Okay. Connection was unpredictable at some, okay, typically the body may have learned something. It encoded something. Okay. All right. If I don't adapt, I will lose them. If I don't adapt, I will lose them. Okay. I need too much, they'll leave. I'm too much. If I need too much, they'll leave. So I'll pretend I don't need anything because I don't want them to leave. That is a survival mechanism encoded from early childhood. Okay. All right. So we're getting in there, you guys. We're getting in there. Okay. So I hope that explains. All right. So that's what's happening there. Okay. So this is where self abandonment is coming from. All right. So at that point, let me self abandon myself to survive. If I need too much, they'll leave. Let me self abandon to survive. Okay. All right. All right. So that emerges not as a choice, but as a protective reflex to maintain attachment and connection. That's what you're doing there. All right. And you are brilliantly designed. God has brilliantly designed you. So there's nothing wrong with you. You're just trying to survive what you perceive as a threat. And in a lot of cases, it was a threat. Okay. All right. So let's go further. Let's go further. We're going to get into self empathy. Okay. We're going to get into it, you guys. Okay. So we're going to step into the 3-step interruption for this. Okay. For when shame is activated. Remember, I told you, I'm going to help you with the shame. I'm going to help you with the rejection. I'm going to help you with all these triggers. Okay. Because these triggers we need to be able to get this under control. If you're running a business and you're trying to get things done and you're hard working and you're putting all your in effort, very confident in what you do, but you got to get this stuff fixed because this stuff is keeping you stuck. Okay, it's keeping you stuck, you guys, and I don't want you to be stuck anymore. Okay, so notice, all right, we're gonna teach this 3-step interruption. Okay, for shame, we're gonna work on shame. Obviously, this can work for other stuff too, rejection and other things. But we're gonna use shame for we're working on shame today because that's a big one for a lot of people, and it's so insidious. It's very insidious. You almost don't even notice that you just got shame just got triggered in you. You don't even notice that shame has been triggered in you. And a lot of people who get shame triggered in them, they start to go into narcissist behaviors. So, that's a dangerous thing. Okay. Shame getting triggered could cause a person to go into their narcissistic behaviors if their shame gets triggered. If they have a lot of that built up shame in them. Okay. Notice the sensation, not the story. Okay. A lot of times people get into the story, and I don't mind getting into the story. Sometimes you don't need to get into the story. You can just get into the sensation, the trauma left behind. Okay. So pause and drop into the body. Go inside your body. I want you to try to do that with me. Okay. All right. Ask, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? Okay. All right. Physically, right now. What am I feeling physically right now? Okay. That's what you ask yourself. Okay. All right. Do that for me. Okay. Name safety. Give it the name. Try to name it. What am I feeling? The body needs to know we are safe now. Okay. You can tell the body after you name it, say, we are safe now. That means safety is internal. Okay. Not dependent on external responses. It's not dependent on external responses. Okay. All right. That means it's internal, you guys. Offer presence right now. I always say stay. When I say stay, this is what I mean. When I say stay, when you hear me say stay on my videos, you guys, I want you to realize what I'm saying to you. Okay. I'm like, stay. You're like, stay what? Stay where? Stay for what? What? What do you mean stay? I'm talking about presence. Stay with yourself. Presence. Stay. No, don't correct. Don't fix it. Stay with it. Stay right there with that feeling. And I see you. When you do that, that is an empathetic way to operate with yourself. That's an empathetic way to operate. When you say, stay, Crystal, you're okay. You don't have to move through this feeling fast. Take your time. Just feel it. Stay. You're not in trouble. You didn't do anything wrong. This person is withdrawing. But let's just stay with the feeling of how it feels when people withdraw from you, when people disconnect from you. Just stay. Just say, I'm staying. In other words, I'm going to stay present with myself. I'm not going to self abandon. Just stay. You can even acknowledge if it hurts. You can stay. It hurts to stay, but just stay. It hurts to stay. And it's okay to say, it hurts to stay. Okay. All right. So we're going through the breath work. Okay. All right. So the point we're going to talk about the signs of this is the ventricle vagal activation, you guys. Okay. Slowly breathing, softening, chest grounding. Okay. Show that regulation is not performance. Regulation is not doing more, not busy, busy, busy. It is stay. That's what it is. That's regulation. You're regulating when you stay present with yourself. Okay? All right? And you start to notice you're feeling more grounded. You start to notice when you stay, you start feeling safer. It takes a minute, but you get there. Okay? Yes. All right, you guys. So let's just go over a couple of scriptures right while we at that place and just let the stay. Let's stay with us with the feeling, but meditate on Matthew 11:28, excuse me. 11:28. I will give you rest and stay as you meditate on that. Watch what happens when you do this. I hope you guys are doing this. Don't play. Do it. Okay? All right. Matthew 11:28. I give you rest. This is God offering the ventricle presence, not demands. Right there with that shame, where you feel that shame. I will give you rest. Someone might be walking away. Someone might be disconnecting from you. Someone might not be answering your call. Someone might be treating you horrible. But if you stay with yourself and don't abandon, you can get through it. You can get through it. And especially if you use the word, okay? I will give you rest. Zephaniah 3:17, another one. He will quiet you with his love. So sit with that. He will quiet you with his love. As you are staying, God regulates without shaming. That's why I wanted you to write it down. Do you understand? Because you could be doing this every night and you could be working through. And then guess what's going to happen? You're not going to get triggered by shame all the time anymore because you're going to start working through it. You're going to start showing up for the shame instead of overperforming for it. Okay? All right, let's do 1 John 4:18. Okay? Perfect love casts out fear. This is a big one because right there, the shame is really showing up because of fear. Fear of being abandoned, fear of disconnection, fear of not being loved. It's really coming up because of the fear. Okay. So I don't know if you guys did getting this right here, but this is life changing. I don't know if you get catching on. You might have to watch this a couple of times. Don't be shy to watch this a couple of times. Do what you need to do for yourself. It doesn't matter. Who cares what people think? Who cares? Okay? All right? Perfect love casts out fear. Love creates internal safety that shame cannot override. So as you begin perfect love casts out fear. All right. You're going to notice you're going to start to create the internal safety, which means if someone starts to shame you or do something along those lines or bring up the shame in you is another way I call it. You say shame you, or you could actually say they just bring up the shame you already got because the shame is likely coming from childhood. Okay. So you already had that shame. They just brought it up. Okay. So now, if someone brings it up because you got the word connected to it, perfect love casts out fear of shame, fear of being shamed. Love creates the internal safety. Once you create internal safety inside of you, I'm sorry, the life is just going to explode for you. I can't even imagine. I can't even start telling you how much is going to change when you create that internal safety. And you can do that for rejection. You can do that for shame. You can do that for abandonment. If you've been abandoned, maybe your father left. It doesn't matter. Maybe you even got abandoned. Maybe your boss abandoned you and quit kick and fired you. It doesn't matter where the abandonment was triggered. Okay. All right. Or where the abandonment originated. Okay. So, all right. God does not require self-abandonment for connection. So if someone does something to you, you don't have to run off into, oh, well, I'm going to be okay. You can just sit with it for a minute. I mean, it's okay. You don't have to, try to make yourself feel better right away. Sometimes you can just feel that. You can just stay with that feeling for a few minutes. It doesn't mean you have to say necessarily anything to anyone, but you can just be there for yourself. Don't abandon yourself, okay? He meets dysregulation. God meets dysregulation with presence. He doesn't meet it with punishment, okay? He doesn't meet it with punishment, okay? So, isn't this amazing, you guys? We're doing the work on Behind Burnout. We are doing the work, okay? We're not playing around. This is not a game, okay? All right, so you got a whole hour long Behind Burnout that you get to watch as many times as you need to and do the work, okay? When people tell you to do the work, this is what they're talking about, you guys. All right, you do the work when you're in your own, private time. You don't have to do the work in public if you do it in private, right? So this is how shame begins to lose power over you. See how the shame is gonna start. Okay, you stay present with that shame and be like, hasta luego. It's gone. Shame is gone. You're not always getting triggered. Shame is not always being triggered in you constantly. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. This is how shame begins to lose power, not through fixing people. That's not how it works. Not through over explaining, not through over performing. That's not how shame is fixed. So if like they could just see that I'm a good person, it's like it's not an external thing, it's an internal work. And that's what you do here at Wings of the Future, trauma coaching. That's what we do here. Internal work, because we don't want to have to do the external explaining because we do the internal work. All right. We don't do the fixing and the over explaining. Okay. We just do presence, showing up for ourselves. Shame begins to shrink. It shrinks slowly but surely. It shrinks when we stay. No rush, no perform, just stay. Okay. I hope we're catching on today. All right. So this is amazing. All right. You guys, next time, all right, next time we'll explore the identity, who you had to become to survive. That's what we're going to do next time. Okay. Preview next week. Okay. And who you are now, that safety can live in you. All right. Who you are now, the safety can live in you. All right. All right. Let me know if you like this, like me to go any deeper into this because we only have one more week left. I could go a little deeper into this. Your comments matter. If it's some other topics that you like, Crystal, do you want to cover? Could you cover this one? This is my issue. I'm here for you guys. All right. So I'm just kind of thinking outside the box here a little bit. So if that's something that you look forward to me doing something additional, we got one more week of this. Like I said, we can either continue this or we can do some other things. Okay. So we have options. All right. So here it is, you guys. All right. All right. So the next one is going to be what to do when shame is triggered. Okay. without self-abandoning. Okay. All right. That's what we're gonna do. Sorry, that's what we just did. I'm sorry. That we're gonna do something else the next time. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do some other things the next time. So I really, really appreciate you guys. All right, joining me on this show. Okay. All right. And yeah, that's what we did today. Okay. So if there's any questions or you have some other things that you want to share with me, or you want to do the assessment and find out, if this is something, burnout to balance is something that would be for you, you can check out the link in my bio. Okay. All right. If you want to watch this again, it'll be in the feature section. If you're looking for it and you want to find it on my page, it should be in the feature section. And yeah, I really, really appreciate you guys. And yeah, next week we're going to go even deeper. Well, maybe we'll even talk a little bit more. We'll have an extended show maybe next week, and we'll continue. All right, this Behind Burnout show every week, 12 noon. Please sign up. That way you get your notification. Check my page. Watch the recap of everything, and or watch the show, rewind the show, and watch it over again. And then you can also comment on the post and let me know what you liked, what more you wanted to hear, what was missing. And yeah, we're gonna continue to improve every week, okay? Because that's what everybody should be doing. We should all be doing our work and we should all be improving every week. Okay, so thank you. My name is Crystal Bull, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.